Okay, so let's get started. Now, first of all, I'd love to thank you all for joining me today. Um, we're going to talk about proteins and peptides and polypeptides and what it all means, what they are. What is it all about? Well, let's take a stroll down memory lane, revolutionizing healing at the molecular level, a true breakthrough for humanity. When you think what we've had for treatments until now, we've got the main database, we've got programs that are tried and proven, but they're like 20 or 30 years old. And what's happened since these frequencies were found? Not a lot. We created a DNA frequency database, which has proven to be very effective. But now we've got something extremely exciting to share with you. Before I start, oh, why is my video not showing? My video's there. Now, can I just have a confirmation, please? Was the presentation showing correctly? Wonderful. Okay, thank you. Okay, I just wondered why my video wasn't showing on top of the presentation. Okay, well, gosh, there's a lot of people on chat. Okay, well, let's get started again. Continue to share. Before I start, I'd like to thank some key players in our journey to creating these peptide programs and peptide presets. The man who started it all was Joel Sternheimer. He was a brilliant French physicist. It's interesting because France has been the birthplace of many people that have pushed the boundaries of science, and Joel Sternheimer was no exception. He developed a method where he could simulate proteins in plants. He focused mostly on plants. He did do a little bit on mammals and people, but he used his system in horticulture, and he set up these loudspeakers in these fields where the cows and the plants could enjoy this wonderful music. But it wasn't ordinary music. It was mathematically derived tones at very precise durations and pitches. Here you can see he's blunting some chalk. He was a brilliant man. Um, he was doing his work in the 1980s. Now, Eco and I, we went to France. We've been to France a few times. We went to France one time to do a conference, and we stayed with our good friend Sebastian Mercier. And he got into my ear. He said, "John, have you heard about these protein audios?" And I thought to myself immediately, here we go. Another half-baked idea that'll never work, this and that. And he didn't let off. On. He kept on saying to me, "John, you really should look into it." So I did. Around 8 years ago, I did look into the tones. I thought, well, there is actually solid science behind it. But, there's a lot of other projects to be done. And so they tended to get in the way of the process of developing these peptide audios. And Sebastian will be back there again, and his friend, or my friend as well, Bruno Dodd, both of them, they'll be saying, "John, look, this and that. What do I think about this? What about this?" And I decided, no, I'm going to get in boots and all, because the potential is just beyond imagination. This is something big, bigger than the big. And this is why one of my two closest friends were on my case. They knew that eventually I would pick the ball and run with it. And I did. So I developed some audios for proteins. It was very scientific. The protein names didn't mean much to people, and which ones do you apply for diseases? Again, who knows? And nevertheless, I sharpened my skills on the development of these audios. Now, quite recently, John Grayson, who is a very active member of the Spooky 2 forum, he seeded a seed of thought in my mind. And I came to realize we were looking at things the wrong way. We were looking at these protein synthesis methods through the eyes of a scientist, like Joel Sternheimer. But what use is that to the everyday person? It's not any use whatsoever. And John, he flipped my mind around to thinking, well, instead of thinking peptides, proteins, polypeptides, let's think about diseases and work from there. People know what disease they have. Okay. So they think, well, I've got X and X a disease. They can look up a disease and get the optimum peptides to address that condition. So I, on the Spooky 2 forum, released these programs. But again, they were quite distant from people because people couldn't click on them straight away and run them. And in came the giant of a man, Brian Yamamoto, who can beat any computer into submission. He's a coder from way back. He wrote a system where he creates presets for all of these programs that I have developed. So now, within Spooky 2, we have the ability to search for a disease in the presets, look for the peptide program, click on it, and run it straight away. So I'd like to thank these gentlemen for making this stubborn Kiwi make a big change in the world and creating something which is truly remarkable. So thank you all. I'd also like to thank the larger Spooky 2 community for their overall feedback and telling me where to make changes, for giving me even just encouragement, because it's not much. It's hard work. Let's just put it like that. It's hard work, and I get encouragement. Come on, John. You know I can do it, and I have. So we're not entering a new era. We are in a new era in precision frequency treatments. From the very first time when Sebastian and Bruno were making my ears turn red 8 years ago to now, over 1,000 contributors on the forum, on the Facebook groups, and in my other wider circle of friends, all helping to fine-tune what we have now. And now we've got hundreds, we've got over 1,000 peptide programs. Each of them has been tailor-made for precisely the condition that it's written to address. It's what's written on the box. It does. 8 years of dedication perfected. Well, maybe not 8 solid years of dedication, because I have done other things as well, but certainly it's been brewing in my mind. And yeah, once I do get my teeth into something, I don't like to let go until it's completed, until I'm really happy with the results. And I can tell you now, these peptide programs are definitely the best of the best. There's a story behind each one of these things. Precision-driven design, okay, delving into disease pathways, and we'll be getting into pathways just a little bit later, and discovering what the essential protein targets are, what the disease needs to thrive, and developing optimized peptide structures with cutting-edge methods and AI assistance. Actually, this is funny because sometimes it's not AI assistance at all. It's, if anything, it's AI obstruction, because AI, apart from the fact that it likes to tell lies, has guardrails to protect us from ourselves. There are questions that you can ask an AI model, and it will tell you to your face, I cannot answer you. And if you go as far as asking, asking why, it'll say because it has been instructed not to talk about anything biological. If you've got any health issues, please see a trained, registered medical professional. And this is what I do recommend everyone here to do, to see their registered medical professional. But I don't like being told that by an AI. So I've had to develop both local models which have been obliterated, which means they've had the guardrails removed, as well as the online models for data retrieval and verification. Long-term research and refinement. There hasn't been one day where I haven't improved the method. Every day, it might be something as simple as one line of code or a tiny little tweak somewhere to make it just a little bit better. The peptide programs are so polished you can see your face in it. You can use it like a mirror. It's really, really refined. I've drawn from many different sources. The world's full of smart people, and I've been the vampire. Stolen from here, borrowed from there, bringing it all together and making it available for everyone. These peptide programs have all been published, and people run them and give feedback. Without exception, one exception, almost without exception, they work. They just work. The exception was, and this is a bit funny too, in the spooky offices, we test them as well, and we were running brain fog programs on some of the staff, and the staff were saying, well, it doesn't really make much difference to them. And I was thinking about it, and I thought, well, that is because they haven't got brain fog, they just are lacking in sleep. But if someone was truly experiencing brain fog, then the peptide would have an effect. And it kind of highlights the difference between these peptide programs and regular programs. These peptide programs are precise. If you run a peptide program for migraine, it may not help for a headache. That's how precise they are. Instead of vague type of approaches like sore head or something, we can have precision. We've integrated sciences from multiple disciplines, computational biology to real-world biology, frequency sciences, which we are very familiar with our previous work, all combined to enable the delivery of peptides with precise potency. Why peptide presets are so good? Well, again, pinpoint accuracy. They attack the fundamental issues, not just the signs, the symptoms. You may just be aware of the symptoms, but there's a lot of underlying causes. They holistically target all causes of conditions. Each cause is an axis, and we'll be getting into this just a little bit later. Holistically means overall, from many angles. And precise calculations. We don't think, well, we're going to use an integer frequency with no decimal places or anything. We are precise. We don't do rounding. We also do what we call complementary peptides. That means we combine real-world peptides which work and are used every day in hospitals, in doctor surgeries, everywhere. We combine them with designer peptides. And this has been one of the biggest breakthroughs. We design the peptides using safe and trusted motifs. What are motifs? Well, they are like blueprints. We take snippets of blueprints which may not exist or do not exist in the real world, but the snippets have been shown to be amazing, incredible, and we create our own safe designer peptides. For every axis, which is again the thing that causes the disease to grow, multiply, and spread and make your life miserable, every axis has got a real world peptide. Truth be known, some axes don't have a real world peptide, but each axis also has a designer peptide. So the more common axes or axi will have both real world and designer, and the more rare axes have purely designer peptides. All the causes, all the things that are allowing the disease to grow are being cauterized. What is a peptide preset? Well, a peptide preset is something that our friend Brian Yamamoto made, but what is inside it? It's got inside it a set of targeted peptides which have been designed to address specific health issues at the cellular level. That's right at the core of disease. It's very unlike generic frequency programs, which are just basically symptom orientated. Peptide presets focus on the root causes of health problems. An example, an autoimmune preset. It may include presets to curb the inflation. Inflation can be our friend, but if it's chronic, it's most certainly an enemy. So our peptide preset for autoimmune conditions will curb the inflation, moderate the immune activity, and also aid in tissue regeneration. So you can see that it's looking at it from different angles. The remarkable advantages of peptide presets, well, there's more than 6, but these are the main ones. We have focused intervention. It tackles the core origins of conditions, problems. It's beyond surface level symptomatic relief. Dependable outcomes. Because it's been engineered, these peptides were created in 2026. They're new. They will address the condition. And they've been engineered for consistent performance, eliminating trial and error. They're budget friendly. You don't need to inject yourself or take pills. Of course, if you need to, please do still continue to do so. We are not trained registered medical professionals. This is only for educational purposes. The peptides, they're all gentle on your body. We use bio-friendly peptides, including the designed ones. So we don't have the side effects that many of the other ways of resolving health issues create. We don't have an overload for our liver or our kidneys or anything, any of our detox organs. Cover all health issues. Now, if you have a health issue, peptides can help. Let me phrase this another way. There is no health issue that peptides cannot help with. We are made from proteins. Peptides are proteins. Peptides technically are short segments of proteins. It's got the same building blocks. If your house is made from wood and you need to fix one wall, you don't patch it up with cement or bricks. You patch it up with wood. We are made from peptides. If we get broken, what do we patch ourselves up with? I mean, the logical thing, isn't it? the same thing that we're made from, proteins, peptides. And they are user-friendly. You can operate on your current Spooky 2 setup. So this isn't a sales pitch, which is another exciting thing. You can use these presets without spending a dime or a cent or whatever currency you use in your country. You don't need to have any expense whatsoever. You just click on the preset and you run it. There's no retraining and there's no extra devices required. Of course, if you want to buy more equipment, it's wonderful. That helps us to develop more new and exciting things and also contribute to charity work. But it's up to you. You don't have to. Now let's talk about the axis, the pathways of disease. You see a weed on the left. That weed, imagine that's a disease. It's growing, it's flourishing. Look at the roots. The roots they've got tentacles spreading out. Those roots represent the axes, the nourishment for the weed. Everything the weed needs, apart from, sunlight, someone's going to tell me, but most things come from the roots. The roots provide the plant. Like this weed, diseases take over your body. They use sneaky methods, genetic transformation, immune evasion, so your immune system can't recognize it. Diseases steal your energy and nutrients. It's robbing you what is rightly yours. I don't know about you, but I don't feel very comfortable about that. They rapidly divide and they restructure and control surrounding cells for their own purposes, not for health purposes, not for you, for them. Diseases are not your friend. Our peptide presets block the axes. How does it block them? It cuts off the roots. The disease cannot hide from our immune system because they are now exposed. They no longer have energy because the energy channels have been cut. The disease cells can't communicate with other cells and they cannot multiply. This is an example of one of the peptides which I've created. All the axes of the disease are targeted. The disease does not stand a chance. At the top you'll see 5 real peptides which were involved in the program target health condition. In this particular thing, it was the C word. And you can see at the very top, there's a very powerful peptides which are real world. And starting from peptide number 7 come the engineered ones. My systems have been trained to seek information from biological papers, even from patents, everywhere, to get the very, very most important, very, very latest information of what a disease needs to survive, what a disease needs to thrive, and how to stop it. These 15 peptides are all looking at the same condition from different angles. There's no room for the condition to continue. The disease cannot survive this onslaught. Most previous programs would basically would attack one axis, and then you'd run another, maybe for another one. But one peptide preset encompasses all of these individual peptides. And the poor weed dies. You can see the roots are cut. It's history. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't like being sick. And I don't like seeing other people sick either. And I truly believe that these peptide programs, these peptide presets, are going to make an enormous change in 2026 and beyond. What sort of things do the peptide presets cover? Well, you know, there's now over 1,000, over 1,100 presets now. There is no condition that peptides cannot cover. Metabolism and hormone balance, heart and blood flow optimization, your immune system and inflammation control, your gut and lung function, muscle tone and wound healing, even general vitality, just overall energy and anti-aging, your brain, senses, and emotional well-being. So it's covering even emotions as well. Reproduction and kidney health, your skin, hair, and structural integrity. Anything that is making your health worse can be addressed by peptides. Anything. Because we are peptides. We are proteins. How to use peptide presets in Spooky 2. Well, you download and install the most recent software version, and you can download it just from the Spooky 2 downloads page. And you go, after you install and run it, you wander over to the JW JW Peptides preset series in the presets tab, and you select how you're going to apply it, whether it's contact mode, plasma, remote, scalar, or whether you want to load a shell preset and load your own frequencies. You are empowered. You make the choice. You're the one living with your sickness. You can decide which one you're going to use. You've now got a wonderful toolbox. They're compatible with contact, plasma, remote, scalar, and coil modes. Yeah, that's our devices that you can use for treatments. I can't see there's our remote on the left. Yes, you can use what you already have. We've got Aha Halo as one of our product lines. This month we've released the very first of our JW Peptide programs. These are programs which have got the JW peptides in them, purely the peptide programs. You can see them on the top left-hand side. Each of those you can just click and run. You can see the duration of these programs is not that long. Peptide programs generally aren't long programs. They don't need length. They've got the precision. And they work in totally different ways to regular frequencies. For instance, a regular program in Spooky 2 would generally run each frequency for 3 minutes, whereas these ones are running for around half a second or less. If you have Halo already installed, you just start the app and the app will update automatically. If you haven't got the Halo software installed yet, then you just wander over to the ahaharmony.com website and you go to the download section and you do what you've got to do. Download the software, install it, connect your Halo and load it up, and you're away.